Hi students, in this video we're going to cover angle relationships. Our objectives are to learn common angle relationships in preparation for equations with parallel lines, and two, we're going to solve equations involving those angle relationships. So the first relationship we have is vertical angles. Vertical angles are opposite angles formed by intersecting lines. As you can see by the colored dots, those represent vertical angles. They are found in the same V shape, and that vertical angles are congruent, and they must be made with the same two lines. Remember, we use that equal sign with the squiggle above it for congruence, and that's going to mean with angles they have the same angle measure. Also, we can mark angles as congruent by having the same number of arcs for the angle. So we have like a single arc for the purple angles, and we can do a double arc for our green angles. So two arcs is going to mean any angle that has those double arcs are going to be the same value. So the next step is that we're going to solve an equation with vertical angles. So remember, vertical angles are congruent. So we're going to mark our angles congruent. And the equation that we get is 5x plus 14 equals 9x minus 10. And so if we solve this equation, we subtract 14 from both sides. We get 5x equals 9x minus 24. We can subtract 9x from both sides, and we get negative 4x equals negative 24. Divide both sides by negative 4, and so x equals positive 6. And if x is positive 6, this first angle is 5 times 6 plus 14, which is 44. And this second angle is 9 times 6 minus 10, which is 54 minus 10, which is 44. So we see that we get 44 for both angles, and that should be the case because vertical angles are congruent to each other. So we solve for x, substituted the value back in for x, and verified that both of our angles were the same value. The next relationship that we have is a linear pair. A linear pair is formed by two adjacent supplementary angles. The sum of a linear pair is always 180 degrees. So we see here that A and B form a straight angle. They form a straight angle, which is going to mean they are supplementary. The equation, so equations with linear pairs. So you know you have a linear pair when if you, like, say we took this line out, you just completely take it out, then we see that we have just this straight angle, and that's going to mean that, hold on, let me get my eraser out. So that's going to mean that the two angles that we have form a linear pair, and so the equation that we get, okay, I just want to get rid of that. So the equation that we get is 2x plus 1 plus x minus 19 equals 180 degrees. So if we combine like terms, we get 3x minus 18 equals 180 degrees. And then we add 18 to both sides. So plus 18. So we get 3x equals 198 degrees. And then we divide both sides by 3. And we're going to get x equals 66. Yeah, x equals 66 degrees. So if x is 66, you should substitute the value in to make sure the angles are indeed supplementary. So if we substitute in 66 for x, we're going to get 2 times 66 plus 1. That is 132 plus 1 is 133 degrees. So we expect the next angle to give us 47, but we can find out. So it's going to be 66 minus 19, which indeed is 47 degrees. And you can check that 133 plus 47 is 180 degrees. So that's how we solve an equation that has a linear pair. So we have another equation with vertical. These aren't vertical angles. This is a linear pair. My apologies. Linear pair. All right. So we have 4x plus 2 and 3x plus 10. These form a linear pair because, again, we get a straight angle right here. So our equation is 4x plus 2 plus 3x plus 10 equals 180 degrees. And we combine like terms, we get 7x plus 12 equals 180 degrees. We subtract 12 from both sides, and we get 7x equals 168 degrees. And then we divide both sides by 7, and we get x equals 24. So if x equals 24, again, don't stop there. Go back and check your answer. So if we substitute in 4, we get 4 times 24 plus 2. That's 96 plus 2, which is 98 degrees. So for this other angle, we should get 82. And let's see if that's what happens. So we get 3 times 24 plus 10, which is 72 plus 10. And that's going to give us 82 degrees. So 98 plus 82 is 180. So that's how we know our work is correct. And so this combined example, we need to find the value of angle y. But the first relationship that we have is 11x minus 14 and 8x plus 22 are vertical angles. They're opposite angles that are formed by intersecting lines. So the first equation we can solve is 11x minus 14 equals 8x plus 22. And say we add 14 to both sides. That's going to give us 11x equals 8x plus 36. Subtract 8x from both sides, so minus 8x. And we get 3x equals 36. And then we divide both sides by 3. And so we get x equals 12. But that's not going to help us find the value of y. We need to stopping here isn't going to help us find the value of y. We need to substitute 12 in for one of these angles. So we substitute 12 into the bottom angle, we get 8 times 12 plus 22. That's 96 plus 22 is 118. And if you wanted to, you could also substitute 12 into the top angle. You get 11 times 12. That is 132 minus 14. That's also going to be 118 degrees. So now we know this angle, the blue angle is 118 degrees. So we'll just put 118 in this place. So we'll say like we crossed it out and we get 118. So now the y and the 118 make a straight angle. So we are solving the equation y plus 118 degrees equals 180 degrees. And this is pretty straightforward. We subtract 118 from both sides, so we get y equals 62 degrees. So indeed, 62 plus 118 is 180. So that's how we know our work is correct. All right, so that's going to conclude our video for angle relationships. We covered vertical angles and linear pair. Remember, vertical angles are opposite angles formed by intersecting lines, and a linear pair is angles that form a straight angle, which means they're always supplementary and they are adjacent. Thanks for watching.